Have you noticed something about the religion of Islam? I want you to ask yourself a question. If you're a Jew or a Christian or a Hindu or a Sikh or an atheist or whatever your religious proclivities may or may not be, I want you to ask yourself the following question. Do you know of any other religion, aside from the religion of Islam, that has a track record of attracting big names, big celebrity names, big individuals, well-known individuals, famous people, to its religion in the way Islam does? Do you know of any other religion that has that sort of track record? Are you able to list off or reel off a list of names that are in the same sort of breath or in the same sort of standing as the likes of Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Andrew Tate? Does Hinduism have that track record? Sikhism, Christianity even, which is currently, as we speak, the biggest religion on the planet. Now, I bring this to your attention not to prove or disprove anything, just as a conversation starter, just to have a think. What is it? And again, it doesn't prove or disprove anything in and of itself. It's not a proof. I'm not using it as a proof. I'm using it as a conversation starter. What is it about the religion of Islam that has an uncanny ability, track record, to attract very big, very well-known individuals, famous people, consistently to the religion? What is it? And I ask you this because I know the majority of my audience are Muslims, but there are some of you who are non-Muslims. And I pose this question for you, again, to not prove or disprove anything, but just to plant some seeds in your mind, to go away and think, what is it about this religion that has this ability to attract people to it consistently and regularly, en masse, including famous, well-known individuals? What is it? What is it? I will tell you, and I will answer that for you. It's because Islam is the truth. That's the bottom line. You may say I am biased. Of course I am biased. But just because I'm biased, it doesn't make me wrong. Now, to the Muslims who watch me and who are watching this video right now, we've got a few issues that we need to break down right now. A few statements, if you like. Okay? Off the back of Andrew Tate's conversion or reversion to the religion. And I've got some notes here in front of me that I'm going to be referring to. And one of the most common sentiments that I have heard from the brothers in particular is, it makes no difference whether Andrew Tate converts to the religion or not. Or it's good for him, more power to him, but that makes no difference to the religion. He's saving himself. He's not saving the religion. And they would be absolutely right. However, this statement is couched in a hint of envy. Allow me to explain. And it's a cope as well, by the way. And you know what? Before I explain the envy part, let me explain how it's a cope. Allah has promised to preserve his religion no matter what. And Allah is not in need of any single one of us. However, Allah uses his slaves, certain individuals from his slave, to strengthen and empower the religion. He uses them as tools to empower and strengthen the religions. And whilst Allah does not need any single one of us, of course, to preserve the religion, he uses individuals or people or groups to strengthen and empower the religion. And perhaps Andrew Tate is just the latest example of that. And it reminds me of when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua to Allah to guide one of the Umars to Islam. I believe one of them was Abu Jahl. I cannot remember his full name, but his actual name was Umar. And the other one was Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anh. And of course, as you know, it was Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anh who entered the religion. But why specifically did he make a dua to Allah to guide one of the two Umars? Why? Because both of them were men of power, men of influence, men who could strengthen the religion. Now, you could make an argument that this was at a time when the Muslims were few in number and were weak. Well, whilst I would agree that the Muslims were certainly weak and few in number then, we may be many in number now, but we are still weak. Now, am I saying that Andrew Tate's going to come along and strengthen and empower the religion? No, I'm not saying that. I am saying, however, he is a man of great influence. Just not too long ago, he was the most Googled person on the planet. That makes him the most famous person on the planet. So he is a man of influence. He is a man of power. He is a man of means. Money. Guess what? The da'wah needs funding. Yes, it doesn't just rain from the heavens. The da'wah needs funding. And all of this is a great quality to have in an individual like Andrew Tate. He could be, I'm not saying he will be, time will tell, but he could be. He has the potential in many different ways, not just from a money perspective. He has a lot to offer in his character, in his skill set, in his experiences, in his professionalism, in his mindset. On and on and on. We could be here all day. He has a lot of potential to empower and strengthen the religion. Time will tell. So it's a cope when you say, it makes no difference whether he enters it or not, blah, blah, blah. Absolute cope. And I will continue on my statement and why I will explain to you why this statement is couched in envy.
So you are looking for no string nikah, are you? Well, if you are looking for no string nikah, I suggest you download on App Store and Google Play and maybe you find some halal. On a serious note though, if I put 100 bints in front of most of you men, you would not convert a single one of them because your game is so bad. The way you communicate with women online is so cringe. I am disgusted and horrified with how you communicate with these bints. And that is why No Strings Nikah app is not just a networking place for you to meet sisters who are looking for an arrangement that is not a conventional marriage. It's more of an arrangement that suits her unique situation. She's been married a couple of times. She's got kids. They're her main priority. On and on and on. If you've heard me speak about it before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for you brothers with dead game, there are two groups on there to help you improve this. The NSN Brothers group and the Muslim Man group ran by Nabil, which has some absolute gems. Gems. Even the cat's looking at me like, Bev, for real. So download No Strings Nikah on Google, on the Google Play Store or Apple App Store now.
Pay attention. Rarely do people express what they're really feeling. Stupid chair. Makes so much noise. Rarely do people really and truly express the real emotions that they're feeling, because to do so would put them in a vulnerable situation. It would expose themselves, or it could be embarrassing. They don't want to really tell you what's bothering them or affecting them, because either you might call them stupid, or it might actually be stupid, or they feel shy or ashamed. This is the general rule of dealing with people. Never trust appearances. Appearances are never what they seem to be. We're constantly hiding behind a mask, and sometimes this is the appropriate thing to do. Other times, however, people can mislead you. Why do I say that this statement of whether Andrew becomes Muslim or not, doesn't matter, is couched in envy, is because of the following reason. Andrew, prior to his conversion to Islam, has made no bones about his achievements as a man. He's not shy to tell you and to rub it in your face. Not only is he blessed from a genetic standpoint, tall and handsome, but he is also an accomplished professional fighter, 4-time kickboxing world champion, multi-millionaire. In fact, I believe he's a centimillionaire now, which means he's worth over 100 million. Extremely rich, extremely successful, extremely popular, extremely famous, extremely good with women, on and on and on and on. Tall, muscles, good looks. The list is endless. And the problem, and I've mentioned this in my videos in the past about Andrew, the problem with flaunting your qualities like this is that you elicit envy from the envious. More specifically, you elicit envy from the average mass. Most men are average. Most men are certainly not Andrew Tate, anywhere near as accomplished as him. Even if they are as accomplished as him, they're probably not as good looking or shorter or whatever the case may be. Definitely not as charismatic. So many qualities that you would think if you had those qualities that other people would be happy for you. No, they're not. This endless list of qualities that you have only serves to shine a bright contrast on their lack thereof, on their averageness. On their averageness. When you flaunt your qualities, and I've warned you guys in the past and I've explained this over and over, when you flaunt your qualities, people are not impressed except those who are doing better than you. Very, very rarely is someone actually genuinely happy and impressed with you unless he's doing better than you. Hence the saying that hate comes from beneath you. It always does. People who are doing better than you don't care. They're happy for you because he's doing better than you. But when someone is above you, that lofty position that they're in shines a bright contrast, and they serve as a constant reminder to your averageness. But how were Muslims able to cope with Andrew Tate? One way they were able to cope was by correctly saying, he might have all of this and have all of that and have the whole world in his hand. But if he dies like this, if he dies as a kafir, he's going to the hellfire anyway, so who cares? And you would be correct. It is true. So they were able to latch onto something that made them feel superior to him in some way. And they were right. And you should be. You should feel superior as someone who is guided to the religion in comparison to someone who has not been guided to the religion. Rightfully so, because we are talking about an eternity of bliss or an eternity of adab, an eternity of hardship, punishment. But now he's become Muslim as well. So not only is he tall, not only is he good looking, not only has he got, is he a 4 times kickboxing world champion, not only is he worth over 9 figures, not only does he have loads of women, not only does he have tons of supercars, not only, but on top of that, he's Muslim as well. God damn. There's too many blessings, bruv. There's too many blessings. Man's feeling bare envious, bruv. And the only advice I can give to any individuals who may be feeling some type of way about individuals like Andrew who do or who have had a track record of flaunting themselves is that you just can't accept it, man. Some people are better than others. So just know your place, bruv. Know your place. Some people are better than others. There's levels to the game. It is what it is. If you just make peace with it, you won't really be so bothered by it. Disdain the things you cannot have. How about that? From the 48 laws of power. Turn your nose in it. Say, so what? Who cares? Because like this, the envy will eat you from inside out. You find it difficult and struggle to accept that someone can have more influence for the thing that is most beloved to you, your religion, than you yourself. You're just not that important, bro. But don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to belittle you. You can make an impact for the better on the religion, taking care of your family firstly and foremostly, doing da'wah, whatever the case may be. But just accept some people are more important than others. It's just the way it goes. There's a hierarchy out here. And each must know where they stand in the hierarchy. Now, my only hope, I really hope, and he's an intelligent man. I'm sure everything he does is calculated, strategic, and intelligent. I'm sure he will surround himself with the right individuals to guide him along his path during his initial stages of being a Muslim. I know he's got a podcast coming up with Muhammad Hijab, so that's a good contact for him to have. I know he will surround himself with the best and brightest minds in order to, put him on the right path. But I hope he doesn't get sucked into sectarian divide. I really hope he doesn't. Because then that would be a real shame, Well, I'm a Sunni, I'm a Sufi, I'm a Salafi, I'm a Tablighi, I'm a Shia, I'm a whatever. I just hope he doesn't get sucked into that, okay? Practice the religion, take from the Quran and Sunnah, follow from what is authentic, leave what is not. Khalas, don't get sucked into this sectarian divide because that's no good for anyone. Finally, I want to address the statement that you see on the thumbnail right now. In fact, I'll put it there. This statement by this sister: if Andrew Tate tries to become Muslim or parades himself as Muslim and gets accepted, I'm leaving Islam. Wallah, I'll abandon Islam in this dunya altogether. Muslims are honestly the most mentally fool, can't even spell properly. She meant to say mentally ill. Subservient idiots on earth. Habibti, you are the idiot. You cannot even spell ill. Yani check your autocorrect, you idiot. Spell ill properly, then come tell me we're idiot. And when Allah asks why, I'll tell him. And now you really are an idiot. So first you say you'll abandon the religion, okay, which means you no longer believe in Allah. And then you say that I will, when Allah asks me, the one that you don't believe in the first place, remember, you've abandoned the religion, I'll tell him why. Habibti, you are a little bit stupid. Even my brain is breaking from trying to understand this stupidity. Very, very stupid statement, impossible contradiction. But let's address it anyway. We can categorize this tweet into one of two possibilities. Possibility number one, she's just being emotional. We can make excuses for her. She won't really leave the religion and she'll be fine, and she just doesn't like what he stands for and so on. Which I would argue is the more likely of the two possibilities. However, the mere fact that you had the audacity to actually utter this potential statement of kufr, frankly, because you know what the opposite of this is? The opposite is like saying, if someone that I really love from the religion, of Islam, leaves Islam, I'll leave Islam with him. That's the opposite. Let's say there's a sheikh you really like, or there's a Muslim pop star you really like, whatever. You've latched on to some Muslim celebrity and you really like them. And then suddenly, for some reason, for whatever reason, they leave the religion. The equivalent of this statement is like saying, if my favorite pop star, if my favorite sheikh, if my favorite online da'i leaves Islam, I'll leave Islam with him. That's the equivalent. You need to check your deen. You really need to check it. But I imagine this is an emotional comment, and she's not really going to do anything like this. But let's just go along with it. Let's say that there is really something here. Do you know what this tells you? That her affiliation, her investment in her personal beliefs are more important to her, are more beloved to her than her investment in the religion itself. She doesn't like, it's like a sister saying, I don't accept polygamy. Not only do I not accept polygyny, I will make it impossible for my husband to do so. In fact, if he does it, I will leave the religion. أَفَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْضِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْضِ? Do you believe in parts of the book and abandon parts of the book? Do you see how dangerous this statement is? It's such a dangerous statement. Now, like I say, I think she's waffling. I think she's being emotional. But I will repeat again with what I said just now. If your investment, your emotional investment in your personal beliefs and personal opinions is more important to you than your investment in the religion itself, you are finished.